Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So basically in today's video I just wanted to talk about how this update actually messed up quite a lot and how it did not fix any previous issues and maybe even added more issues. So if you want to see me ranting about how bad of an update this is, which it may or may not be, then stay tuned. So first of all, I would also like to acknowledge that this is not fully a bad update because it does have a lot of good things. For example, this Black Dwarf fight is, I believe, one of the most fun boss fights we've had in a while. Because I did not really enjoy Black Swan at all, and Chorus and Proximal was fun, but there was something that I think missed from it. So for example, this Aether gathering thing in the fight, it's very fun. It's a very new way to actually give you one more reason to not just attack and attack and attack, but also strategize a little and think about what you're about to do. So if the next Aether will just spawn in, which it, oh, there it is. So right now I deal a lot more damage. I shouldn't have switched to Rogue. I should have just waited, but you'll see in a sec what one of my biggest problems with this update is. Which it also was with Proxima, Chorus and Black Swan. Which is that the only thing that they give us for climbing higher row bosses and doing more stuff is more carbo. Here I got 60, so I got really lucky. But from my experience, you can get anywhere from 51 till 60. This is the highest I've gotten yet. Oh wait, no, it's 50. I cannot read. Oh, so 58 was the highest I've gotten until now then. And 50 was the lowest, so this was actually the lowest. So the people that design the entire fight, they design how it works, they design what patterns the boss attacks in. Those did a very good job. The only problem I have with Robust Legend Plus is that it's just, I guess it's more difficult, but it's not more rewarding. Like, sure, you get more carbo, but you don't have, for example, a guaranteed CTB for every 50 times you do it. What you do have, but this has been a thing for years, is that at every 50 levels you get a CTB chest, which still does not include either the Conquest or the Liberation. If you move on here, you get one at 100, then it's 150, then I believe one more at 200, yes. So basically the only thing changing from Null to Black Dwarf and Maul is the carbo drops. So theoretically, if you don't want to tier 4 a lot of characters, you could just do Null every day. If you're not playing for that, if you already have all of your characters that you want to tier 4, and you have an overshot of carbo, then you can just do Null every single day and have it easy. Just do stage 1. Because there's no real reason to actually stage climb any of them. So with the new ones with Chorus and Proxima and Black Dwarf, they did introduce the emblems, which you know that I kind of love. But the problem with these things is that you need to either tier 4 some characters to spend a lot of crystals and a lot of time. And after you get both emblems, what do you then? What do you do then? You get nothing else. So what I did like was that with some of these you can get the artifacts on the higher stages. That's, I think, a worthy push, but none of these characters are meta except Null. And guess what? There's no artifact anywhere. I could show you each and every single level, you do not get an artifact from anywhere. So a couple of other things are these events. I do like these, but outside of the tier 2 mega ticket and the profile picture for some of you, I don't think you're gonna get anything good from here. Like, the only thing I've got until now is some Titan component packs, which is good, but it's not really worth it for my account. Now this right here is, in my opinion, the best part of the update. It's just that it takes a long time to complete, and I don't like how long this takes, but very good job on here. Lots of good rewards. You can get leader for free, and you can get a free CTP, which does include the conquest. I don't know what went wrong with this update, because none of the characters are meta, except maybe for leader versus support, replacing the old Cyclops. And if Red Hulk gets a tier 4 in the mid-month, then sure, he could be a very good tank. Like, not tank as in defense, but in offense. And he could overshadow Hulk, which is why I'm still not tier 4ing him. Otherwise I would have probably tier 4'd him by now. Because for that slight chance that the devs actually gain a couple of extra brain cells and they decide to tier 4 someone that will probably get their last uniform for the rest of this game, which would be this uniform, and they're only gonna give him a tier 3, and he's probably one of the most hyped up characters in this movie. That's kind of sad. So I'm still hoping that they give him a tier 4. I'm not sure about that. They're probably not gonna rework him, but as you can see, I did stock up on some crystals, so I was considering to get Red Hulk and or Falcon. But what's most likely about to happen is that I'm just gonna skip this uniform and maybe even get this one as a support for Strange. But who knows, right? Like, if they rework the characters, or if they introduce a new week in ABX cell, if they give us a new GBR that is only blast type, then sure, maybe speed mill heroes will have a use. Anyways, back from my rant. So basically, it doesn't really matter which robust legend you choose to do. They're just gonna keep introducing new ones, and the most likely next one will be Supergiant and Thanos. After that, they could start with tier 4 Apocalypse, Scarlet Witch, Cable, and Quicksilver, which I'm hoping they won't do. But it could be, right? It could just be that the robust legend will be like a very mid-game mode soon. No, not mid in enjoyment and in new characters, not in rewards, because the rewards in robust legend are good, but you don't get a reward for doing something more difficult. That would be like if the regular normal AB gave the same rewards as ABL at 10 mil. Like, imagine if here you get a CTP, and here you get a CTP plus 1% chance to get a Rage. I don't think many of you guys would actually do this. Well, maybe. Maybe 1% is a bit too high, maybe like 0.01%. Like in GBR, the Rage chances. Just copy that into ABL, and then everyone is just gonna do regular AB. It isn't worth it to stage climb. Like, I did make the mistake of climbing Null in hopes that they're gonna eventually give us the artifact, but I don't think they're gonna do that anymore. I genuinely believe that it's just a waste of crystals, waste of energy, waste of carbo. Same with Mephisto, because I also thought I could climb this. Like right now, I have Hela, who could definitely do the stage with Coulson and Yondu. But it's just not worth it. Like, they're not gonna put his artifact in here and then just leave Null because he's meta. So unless Mephisto gets like a support uniform, they're not gonna add his artifact in here. And Gore, who knows when he will get an update. If he ever gets an update, even, then I could start with this again, but who knows, right? Like, by the time Gore will get a new uniform, we will have tier 6. I also stopped with Jean, because she is kind of falling off right now. Hopefully she will get a new uniform. Well, not hopefully, because to be honest, I'm kind of hoping she doesn't, but maybe. And with Kang, he could have gotten a new uniform, but the next big menace in the saga is Doom. And Doom is neither a robust ultimate nor a legend. So Doom is absolute shit. I don't have his artifact. I did put Cyclops' artifact on him. So until he gets a new uniform, we will still not have someone that's good. I don't even know where I was going with that, but the main thing that I want to point out in this video is that Phobos Legend is not really worth it at higher stages. Unless you want a lot of tier 4s, which most of you do. But there needs to be like a... I don't know, like you get plus 10% carbo for every single stage you do higher. Well, no, for every 10 stages. So if you do stage 1, you get, I don't know, 10 carbo. If you do stage 50, you get 15 carbo. If you do 100, you get 200 carbo. That's how I would like to do it. On Black Dwarf, the same thing, because it's a very difficult rogue boss. So for example, you get 60 carbo on the first stage, which is the easiest. And then for every 10 stages, you get 10% more. So on stage 10, you would get 66. Then you would get 72 at 20. Then at 30, you would get 78. And eventually, you could get to stage 100, which could be any percent increase. It could also be like just double. If you do stage 99 5 times a day, you get like 500 carbo a day. Like they could make it insane. So the whales will actually spend crystals to get their ASAP. The free-to-plays will still attempt to do as high of a stage as they possibly can. And essentially everyone will be happy because they will finally have found a use to stage climb. So if I did stage 85, I would get 80% more carbo than I did stage 1. Because the only thing they're doing with how they're going now is that we went from Robos Ultimate to Robos Legend, they went to Legend Plus, then they started doing old Robos Ultimates into Legends. And the way they're going, they might introduce like a Robos Legend Plus Plus, where they rework Null into like this Robos Legend Giga, for example, or Monster or something like that. And it's just the next difficulty, and it just continues on with these characters that we've had before, instead of reworking this stage and just adding a new difficulty here, which gives carbo, and it gives the same amount of carbo as the Null, for example. I'm not saying many people would play that, but more people would play it than now. Except for new players, obviously. So the other thing, which I kind of stole from someone else, I believe Cynic Alex came up with the idea, or Death Proof, that they should make all the Robos Legends drop the same amount of carbo, and maybe make them the same difficulty, but they could do it that each Robos has something of his own. So for example, for every 100 stages you do of Null, you get energy. 100 stages of Mephisto, you get a regen. 100 stages of Infinity Ultron, you get destruction. And then what you could do is that for every 10 stages, the amount you get doubles. So for example, with these things, imagine if you did stage 50, you would instantly just get a book selector. Like, we need these rewards. We cannot just have a difficulty slider up to 100 without giving us anything for it. Like, realistically, the only thing you get from stage climbing, and if you reach stage 99, is that you get to brag about it on the forums. So what they did perfectly with Robos Ultimate and with ABXL is that any free-to-play can do the regular one, or any new player. Why do I keep saying free-to-play? Then most people can do ABX, and then there's ABL for the more advanced players and for not every player, which can still be attempted by new players, but for the advanced people, they have a reason to stage climb. Like for me, I want to reach at least 7 million on each and every single one of the ABX days to get the team up collection. And with the team up collection, I can enhance my characters. So this is a perfect way You get to farm, you get to advance your characters, you get to do everything. Now in Roblox Legend, you could do null, and you would still move forward, you would still get tier 4s. You might not get as many tier 4s, but you still get tier 4s. So with this, I'm not trying to say that they should nerf the carbo that null drops. That's the most stupid idea I've ever heard of. Instead, they should give something new to every single row boss. It would only take a couple of pixels to design, and maybe with the Valor they also did that. So for example, if you reach this Conquer level 20, you get an Odin's Blessing chest, 15 Valor, which I have no idea what it does. And you also get increased damage against the next row boss. But that also happens here. So I have stage 19 here. If I reached 20, I would deal 2% more damage against Black Dwarf and Maul, and 3% against Corvus. So that's kind of a neat feature, but it's still just so little and so insignificant. Like, you don't gain anything from it, you just get to be over with it faster. And that's not a good way to make a game. No, I haven't ever made a game in my life except for one time in school. But there's no real reason to actually do anything in the game if you don't get anything from it. Now, from some games you just play for the experience, like Red Dead, like God of War, like the Ghost of Tsushima. I probably mispronounced that. What do you get from FF? It's not a story game. So the only thing you essentially get from stage climbing is the bragging rights. And I haven't heard one person say that they respect those who do stage 99 of null every single day of the week. Yeah, so this thing definitely needs some fixing. Alright, so I think that's enough about the Roblox Legend. Originally I was planning to make a video on Strange, to make a re-review about him, because now I've reached a higher rank. I've gotten the bonus stats on the card because I did one card pull from the shop. Not from the shop, from the bonus deal we got. Yeah, these ones are probably the most expensive thing in the game to complete. So I originally wanted to make a video about him, but I kind of felt like this was necessary. Now I know this video probably won't reach the devs, but just for the minuscule percentage of chance that it does, I'm essentially begging them to do something with this. I don't think it's gonna kill the game if they give us like a CTP for... You know what? How about if you reached stage 99, right here, if you reach stage 99 on null, you get a mighty CTP of energy, and you get a 20, you know what? A 50% chance of brilliant energy too. So you get a guaranteed reward, and then you get essentially a gamble for a better reward. Now see, that would definitely push a lot more people to stage 99. Because a 50% chance for brilliant, even if it's just an energy, which is apparently one of the worst brilliants you can get, people will still push for it. And I just made this up right on the spot. I did not prepare this video, or this part of the video, in advance. I just sat there and I got a better idea than you guys have had in like 6 years. So what I recommend is that you guys just sit down with like the 5 people that actually care about Roblox Legend and just give us like a small reward at the end. Because from what I've heard, you get nothing from stage 99. Except the artifact, but you guys are too lazy to put that in for now, or too greedy. I don't know which is worse. So essentially, you need to have an end goal for the player. Like right now, the end goal, you know what the end goal is? You go to stage 1. Hold up. You go to stage 1. with your 3 little characters, and you know what the end goal is? You can go to stage 1 with your 3 most advanced characters. That's the entire end goal of this game mode. There's no end goal in sight. It's a farming game mode, I know, but you need to have a reward for it. Like, if I just hated Robust Legends so much that I never wanted to play it again, then I could just go to Zombie Survival, go to store, and get 300 carbo a week. Sure, it would take me 1.5 years to tier 4 someone, but essentially this game mode is not really necessary to play anymore. Should you still play Robust Legend? Obviously, yes. I'm not saying this to essentially ward you off of Robust Legend, but eventually they will give us so much carbo that people would either forget about this game mode, or they will not forget it, but it will just be so little carbo that they won't even care. That is, unless you want to tier 4 a lot of characters, have some spare carbo if you want to tier 4 someone. So I still advise each and every single one of you to do Robust Legend 5 times every single day. Just grind it away. The carbo is good. The rest of it is trash. Like, I've gotten one singular mighty CDP from this in like 2 years. This one. I got it once. I put it onto someone. I think I put it on Psylocke. Originally it was on Ghostwriter, but I took it away. And that's it. That's all I got. You know from what I got that? I probably spent like 600 crystals here. Probably like 1,000 here. And most likely like 500 there. 200 here. I did not spend any on him, I believe. So how much is that? That's like 1,400. Should we say like 2,000 crystals from my CTP? Which is good. Don't get me wrong, it is good. But there's people that spend 10,000 and don't get anything. It's all a gamble. It's gambling to stage climb. Now, another thing that I want to point out, and I want to not really discourage you guys from doing this, is that if you do stage 85, you get a higher chance for this. Boo! Now, one more thing is that when Black Dwarf and Null was announced, I was hyped. Most people were not hyped. They did not care at all. They were saying the right thing and I was wrong. Because they were saying that this is just like a 5% increase over Chorus and Proxima and a 20% increase in difficulty. Or, well, not 20%, but like 10% plus 10% for having to learn the new mechanics. With only 5% reward. So what I was hype about is that they would add Corvus and Proxima, or Black Dwarf and Null, I mean. And that they would just go back to Null and add a sword effect on every 10 stages. That was the only thing I cared about. I did not care about this Robust Legend at all. They could have added Thanos in a new uniform we've never seen before. But if there was only 1% more carbo, I wouldn't have grinded every day. Unless the fight was very fun, but it's a Robust Legend. It's not the most fun thing in the game. Alright, so now I'm gonna stop ranting for a while and instead just explain about why I think this, because this is a very controversial take and probably some of you guys disagree with me heavily. So the only thing that I want to say to end this all off is that you should still do as high of a Robust Legend as you possibly can. So if you can do Black Dwarf and Maw 5 times every day and you get it as your Robust of the day, then it's worth it. Don't do Null. It's worth it because you get more carbo. And most people care about the Force, but there's just something more to the entire game that you enjoy more than having some carbo in your inventory. Yeah. So still just do as high of a robust legend as you can possibly do. I know this is kind of the opposite of what I was telling you, but for now just continue. If for example Infinity Ocean is the highest one you can do, then do it. It gives better rewards than all. And I know I'm saying the exact opposite of what I said like 5 minutes ago. But what I'm talking about is the whale play. If you're a new player, obviously do the highest one you can. So yeah, now it's actually time to end my ranting. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and that I did not really anger you guys too much. But thank you for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you next time. Take care.